kick things off this week on British Wrestling Weekly with Gen X action featuring a man who many insiders of British Wrestling today believe should be the first ever Gen X League Cup winner. That man's name is Mike Hitchman.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring with the manager of champions, Mr. Gilligan Gordon. Hailing from the valley to South Wales to win it tonight at 193 pounds. This is Mike Wildboar.
Of course, Hitchman, in many people's opinions, has the most dangerous move in British wrestling today. It's a move he hit on Mark Andrews, but unfortunately for him, Manchester's Bubblegum was able to pick up the pin and pick up the Gen X League Cup. Can Hitchman redeem himself? Well, we're going to find out after a very short commercial break when he takes on the high-flying sensation known as Flash, Morgan Webster. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Back here with you on British Wrestling Weekly, Alex Shane joining you at ringside, and prepare to fasten your seatbelts as NGW continues its Gen X League.
Hailing from a town called Malice, and winning tonight at 175 pounds, this is Flash Morgan Webster!
Well, regular viewers of British Wrestling Weekly will know Flash Morgan Webster and the incredible high-flying offense that he brings to British professional wrestling. Much like Mike Hitchman, he comes from Wales, and much like Mark Andrews, who we saw in the finals of the Gen X League, Flash Morgan Webster is a man that can fly and fly high. Will he be able to beat Mike Hitchman right here in our opening contest? Now, for those that don't know, Flash Morgan Webster has been granted the #1 contender spot to the newly crowned Gen X League Cup winner, Bubblegum. You can imagine that Gilligan Gordon and Mike Hitchman are... Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, look! Before the bell and the Wild Boar with that spear gore-type manoeuvre straight in the referee here. The bell is not officially run. Remember, in Gen X League matches, we have a 10-minute time limit, and that 10-minute time limit does not begin until each men are in the corner, touching the top turnbuckle. And oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. He's touched the turnbuckle. Well, surely that's not fair. And yet, the 10-minute time limit, he's going for that package pile driver. That quickly, the most dangerous move in British wrestling about to be inflicted upon Flash Morgan Webster. And Webster comes out the back. And he's going to have to fight for his life here against the Wild Boar. Spinning arm drag there from Webster. I see him holding his ribs there. That spear that happened before the bell has definitely done damage to this young man, who is just weeks away from his match against Bubblegum in an attempt to dethrone him. And it was a monkey flip attempt there, but and Hitchman, look at that, just sends Flash Morgan Webster crashing down to the wooden floor here at Pudsey Civic Hall. And Gilligan Gordon, yeah, you don't want to do that. And you see in our replay here, Hitchman there, open hand palm striker of sorts, sends Webster crashing down, and Gilligan Gordon was standing over Webster, and of course he's not going to want to make any kind of physical altercation happen in front of a referee here in NGW, because last time he did that, it was when Mike Hitchman had that match against Robbie X, and it led to a one-match suspension for Gilligan Gordon. And in many people's eyes, it was that one-match suspension that created the opening for Bubblegum to win the finals of the Gen X League. We've heard from Gilligan Gordon so far on this programme in past weeks, talking about his utter frustration, last week in fact, about how there is a conspiracy, an agenda out to really strip any credentials and accolades away from Mike Hitchman and Gordon. But he can whine and cry about it all he likes. The fact remains that Bubblegum came out of that finals as the first ever Gen X League Cup winner. And we are 2 minutes in to this opening contest here on British Wrestling Weekly. And don't forget that we have a huge tag grudge match coming up as your main event of this programme, as the Mexican sensation El Ligero teams with Liam Slater to take on the newly formed team of the righteous Joseph Connors and British Wrestling's Crown Prince of Betrayal, Dara Diablo. That's coming up before the end of the hour. And you can see that jump before the opening bell on Flash Morgan Webster has taken a serious toll, because this young man fought with all he had. But so far, this has been about 60-70% Wildboar. And Boar, look, setting himself for a charge there. And Webster, over the top, hits the ropes, ducks a clothesline attempt there. Back and forth, this guy's so fast. And a flying clothesline by the Welsh-born star. Says he's from a town called Malice, as he hits that forearm in the corner on Boar. Sends Boar into the corner reversal. And whoa, look at that! Second rope moonsault on the inside. And just like that, this young man fighting back on possibly the most dangerous man in the Gen X League, Wildboar Mike Hitchman. And now, Webster there, trying to get him up on the shoulders. And smart by Hitchman. Knees straight to the ribs. Don't forget it was those ribs that took the full force of that shot between the bell. Webster has Boar up on the shoulders and down. My God, back of the neck on the knee of Flash Morgan Webster. And that may have just changed the tide here. Ref in position. 2 and and Hitchman kicks out there. But yeah, Hitchman landed hard. He went upside down and landed vertebrae first on the outstretched knee of Flash Morgan Webster. And we are 4 minutes in to this Gen X League contest. Remember, Gen X League matches have a 10-minute time limit. So that's why these guys are going to go thick and fast to get the win. And look at, powerbomb. Oh, and keep your eye on Hitchman. Oh, running senton into the corner. And the wild boar there, that was just vicious. And this one could be over just 4 minutes in. 2 and a through. And he kicked. Well, that's Bubblegum and Chardonnay. I can see from my vantage point, Bubblegum and Chardonnay. And Bubblegum is holding that cup that he won at the expense of the wild boar. And these two, and the wild boar getting distracted, and perhaps this is the intention of these two. Don't forget that Flash Morgan Webster will be the first man to get a shot at that cup that Bubblegum's holding, much to the disagreeance of Hitchman and Gilligan Gordon. And look, Hitchman now leaving the ringside area, and Gilligan there shouting. He said, look at this. God, Gilligan Gordon is losing it here at ringside. He's telling Hitchman to focus, and he should, because he needs to keep his eye on Flash Morgan Webster, who's back up onto his feet. Oh, hits the ropes, comes back, and whoa. My Lord. Flip plancher to the outside, sends Hitchman back in, and Flash Morgan Webster is back in the race and back in the hunt in this Gen X League. Whoa. High cross body, and what a high cross body it was. And now, a change in the tide is apparent. I can feel it, this crowd can feel it, and so can Mike Hitchman with that big knee. And Webster now, double underhook, and double underhook into like a face-first pedigree of sorts here. And Flash Morgan Webster, you know what he's going for. He's going for that 450. And we are 6 minutes in, and Gilligan Gordon will want to prevent that with every fibre of his being. Because if Flash Morgan Webster can hit that 450, one of the most impressive moves in British wrestling right now, this one is curtains for the wild boar. And he's on the top. He is on the top. Keep your eye on Flash Morgan Webster. And Hitchman moves, and he's going for that package pile driver. The most dangerous move in British wrestling today, my God. And this one is academic. Hitchman wins.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Mike Wildboar Hitchman.
Well, it's known as the most dangerous move in British wrestling today for a reason, and you saw it there in 3D, HD and Technicolor, because Flash Morgan Webster was driven through the canvas with sheer force. You see here earlier in the contest that powerbomb and that running senton, often a prelude for the move that will come later. But it was Flash Morgan Webster's missed attempt at that 450 splash which led to this. And watch this. My God. Could break a man's neck with a move like that. And as a result, the wild boar Mike Hitchman gets a win over Flash Morgan Webster. What will this mean for Flash Morgan Webster's upcoming contest for the Gen X Cup against Manchester's Bubblegum? Well, this is a story I'm sure that we will cover in great detail. But there's another story just around the corner. We have our huge main event still to come. Liam Slater, El Ligero will take on British Wrestling's Crown Prince of Betrayal, Dara Diablo, and the righteous Joseph Connors. It's a huge grudge match that New Generation Wrestling Management have fought incredibly hard to get onto this program as quickly as they have, after weeks and months of jaw-dropping actions involving all of those men. It's coming your way before the end of the program, so don't you dare go anywhere, because British Wrestling Weekly continues. Over to you, Charlie Shakespeare.